Hi, I'm George Conway. This is the most important election of our lifetimes, and I'm sorry to say the most important issue in that election isn't being addressed. And it's not Joe Biden's age. Without a doubt, the cognitive ability and mental health of a president or presidential candidate are extremely important issues. Democrats and the media are right to ask questions about Joe Biden after the bad night he had at the recent debate. But there's a double standard being applied here, a huge one. And it's not just that Donald Trump, who's himself 78, is also showing his age. We've all seen videos of Trump slurring words.
An anomalous, really an anomalous.
And then they announced there was nobody's no.
A beautiful criminal United States.
And rambling nonsensically about sharks and electrocution.
You know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time.
Hannibal Lecter.
The late, great Hannibal Lecter. He's a wonderful man.
But Trump has a bigger problem, and it's not his age. It's the fact that Donald Trump has never been right in the head. I'll let others who know him explain.
He's a populist, authoritarian narcissist.
He is a consummate narcissist.
Governor Chris Sununu called Trump crazy, but
adding, I don't think he's so crazy he should be in a mental institution, but if he were in one, he ain't getting out.
And he goes and he starts to say these wacky things. That's what scares everybody about him.
Our country can't be a therapy session for a troubled man like this.
John Kelly sought guidance from a book in which 27 mental health professionals warned that Donald Trump was psychologically unfit.
This man is a pathological liar, a narcissist at a level I don't think this country's ever seen.
Donald Trump's problem is he's just nuts. And he's not simply eccentric or odd in a good way. He's unwell, mentally unwell, in a dangerous way. He is indeed a pathological narcissist on a level we have never before seen. He's a malignant narcissist who is also a sociopath or psychopath. What these terms mean is that Trump is a man who cares about nothing but himself. Not you, not the country, not the laws and constitution that a president swears to faithfully execute. And it also means that Trump is a pathological liar and that he lacks any moral conscience or capacity for remorse. These are the psychological characteristics of dangerous cult leaders and dictators. They shouldn't be the traits of an American president. Now, you haven't heard any of this discussed very much in the media. And that's because too many people are afraid of talking about mental health issues, particularly Donald Trump's. Here's an example. This is a book, a memoir, written by a fine and accomplished journalist who was for many years executive editor of the Washington Post. In it, he explains how in 2019 he was urged to have the newspaper tackle head-on the issue of whether Trump was mentally ill. And he explained that this was the final taboo in covering presidents. In the end, he, along with a lot of others in the media, decided not to break that taboo. And the public remains uninformed. And not only that, the failure to treat Trump's behavior as pathological has led the media and the country, perversely, to treat his behavior as normal. And that's a big reason why we're seeing the double standard that's being applied to the candidates today. And that's the problem we're here to address. To understand Donald Trump, why he's unfit for office, and why he's a danger to the republic, you have to understand his psychological disorders. Trump's malignant narcissism explains everything about him. It explains his pathological lying.
It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose.
His misogyny.
Grab him by the pussy.
His racism.
You had very fine people.
News will not replace us!
On both sides.
His authoritarianism, his endless quests for vengeance, his love for dictators. It may even explain his recent praise of Hannibal Lecter. It certainly accounts for his criminality. 4 indictments on 88 counts in 4 courts, and a conviction in one of those courts on 34 counts. 34. Imagine that, a former president. All of this is why I'm pleased to announce the formation of the Anti-Psychopath Political Action Committee, or Anti-Psycho PAC for short. I'm putting my own money behind this PAC. $343,434.34 to be exact, and we'll be raising a lot more. We're going to use those resources to educate the American public about Trump's psychological unfitness for office. With the help of mental health professionals, we're going to explain how his condition poses a grave danger to our country. And we're going to encourage the media to start talking about what it should have been talking about years ago. We're also going to highlight examples of Trump's psychologically aberrant behavior as they happen, which might very well get under his skin enough to help illustrate the very points we're making. So although this is a very serious subject, we may actually have a little fun along the way. We hope you join us. Join us in learning about the dangers of Donald Trump's derangement. Join us in spreading the word. Join us by contributing, to pick a number, $34, or less if you like, or more if you can. Join us and spread the word. This country is too wonderful and important to be turned back over to a madman. Learn more at psychopac.org.
That was just a devastating attack, a brutal video for Donald Trump. I think that might be the most devastating attack on Donald Trump that I may have seen in this election cycle, just perfectly summing up all the arguments of why Donald Trump is completely unfit to be president, why he has always been unfit to be president. And before we talk about it anymore, if you would just go ahead and quickly hit that subscribe button, subscribe to this channel, and if you end up liking this video, hit that thumbs up and like the video. It means so much to me, and it really goes a long way in helping us grow this new channel. But again, George Conway, a vocal critic of Trump for a long time and for good reason, perfectly packaging up all the arguments of why not just Democrats like us, people who are voting blue, are against Donald Trump and have been since 2015, but why Republicans and former Trump officials, people who worked with Donald Trump in the White House and have known him for so long, are coming out against Donald Trump. There is something seriously wrong with a person like Donald Trump, someone who doesn't take accountability, someone who is so childish and insecure that they couldn't concede the results of a free and fair election. And that is the really important, hard-hitting stuff that George Conway gets at in that ad. We all know that Donald Trump is a liar. We all know that Donald Trump is a fraud and has always been, that he's a failed businessman. He was a failed president. But what I think the mainstream media has not been covering enough lately is that although Donald Trump, yes, is a buffoon, he is a very dangerous buffoon. And the circle of people around him going into this next election, if he were to win, which we're not going to let him, of course, but if he were to win, the people around him are so much more dangerous and so much more well equipped to go in and attack our democracy, to attack our institutions. That's what we've been talking about with Project 2025 and the danger it poses to reproductive freedoms, LGBTQ+ rights, our democracy at large. And that's why we have to stop Donald Trump, because of the danger he poses, because of how unwell he is, someone completely unfit for that office. And George Conway does such a great job in that ad. I'm really glad that he is pushing back, that he is using his voice to push back against Donald Trump, because we need as many voices in this fight against Donald Trump to protect our democracy as possible. And again, he just does such an excellent job. But if you want to support another voice against Donald Trump, pushing back against the MAGA movement, if you want to support me and my channel, again, please just hit that subscribe button, like this video. It goes a long way. And as always, if this is your first time subscribing, let me know in the comments. Also, if this is your first time subscribing, you may not know this, but if you watch till the end of the video, go ahead and drop a blue heart in the comments. That's what we do on this channel. That's how we build positivity here. And I'm so excited to see how quickly this movement is growing. It really means the world to me. And as always, I will see you next time.